Welcome back to the dish. It works really well every single time we do it.
Happy fourth saison.
Saison Marguerite. It's the fourth season. Can you believe it? Look at how itty bitty we look all the way over here.
I know. We're broadcasting in the new Casa del Suarez.
I know. It's wild. New spot.
Neveline and I moved away.
Yeah, we're in North Carolina right now.
I know. Born and raised up. Take your shirt off.
What?
Twist it round your head. Ooh, like a helicopter. You've never heard that Petey Pablo song? That's crazy. Song.
Dude, my entire elbow tattoo, every single line in this tattoo is bubbled up and really, really itchy.
Cool story.
I'm allergic.
To what?
Life, man. Good morning. How's it going? How was your day today? What'd you do today? You ran around like a crazy person.
We ran all over the place and got some stuff done at our soon-to-be rental property. And, we putzed around. I cooked on my new Loco flat top
griddle, which looked so good. And I'm like kind of bummed I didn't bring something over to have you grill it up for me.
It was good, dude. Yeah, it was super good.
I think it will soon.
And, yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch.
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah. What about you?
I worked at the happiest place on earth. I had a
welding job.
One more time?
At your welding job.
Yeah, I was doing underwater welding. No, that's what Aaron did. And he lost a digit from it.
They make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked and I had a preliminary hearing for my legal battle with the city of Hazel Park. They wrote me a ticket saying my grass is too long. And I said, all right, do you have a picture of it with the ruler in it? And they said, no. And I said, see you in court. I'm not paying hundreds of dollars for that. That's insane.
That is
so
ridiculous.
I'm fighting it.
What if they jail you? Like, what if they just...
It's a civil infraction.
I know, but what if they just, like, hate you and they're like...
Well, that sounds about right.
You're arrested.
They can try.
They come knock on your door.
I don't own the place. I'd leave. Dude, I would zip zoom out of there.
Whoa, dude.
Hey, you can't find me. Psh, you got no.
Teardrop.
I know. I want you to read that one because I'm going to mispronounce the name. We can go all the way to the tippy top. I just worked and then I came over here and I had a blast watching you cook on your new grill.
Cocaine.
No cocaine.
No, none.
None whatsoever.
No, none.
Nona.
No, none.
Did you call any of your grandmothers Nona?
No.
Okay.
Good. No.
People who do that are weird. Just kidding. But yeah, we're on season 4. Can you believe it? I felt like just yesterday we started season 1.
I know.
It was actually 2 years ago, which is gross to think about.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
We planned out all of season 4. This season is going to take us into the new year, and I wish that was a joke, but it's not. It's literally going to be until January. We're going to do a fun little thing for Halloween again. We're going to do a fun little thing for Christmas again. Unless otherwise dictated by our beautiful listeners, I think we'll just announce like the movie for next week at the end of each podcast, like we usually do. Like we usually do. It gives you 2 weeks to watch the movie if you'd like, listen along, watch along, read along, pray along, and then it'll be good to go. So we'll let you guys know what we're doing next time at the end of this podcast. But today's podcast, what movie are we talking about, Chadwick Sanchez?
A little old movie called Remember the Titans.
Did you remember those Titans?
I can't forget them. How can you possibly forget Julius?
Julius Pepperwood?
Judy.
What is Julius's last name? It says it in those questions.
Cornwallis.
Julius Campbell.
This is
Campbell. Yes. It's a beautiful movie. It's called Remember the Titans. It came out in 2000, if you can even believe it.
One of the best years in the world. Y2K, baby.
This is the best thing that came out of Y2K. It's a crisp hour and 53 minutes long, and as of right now, it is streaming on Disney Plus. If you don't have Disney Plus, that's wild, and you should, because it's great.
Tell your parents to get a job.
Yeah, dude. Come on, Mom and Dad, get in a job. I remember when Disney Plus came out, it was $7 a month. Now it's like, what, 36?
14? I don't know.
Something like that.
I don't know. I don't pay for mine.
Do you use mine?
Yeah,
you do.
I do use yours.
We share a lot.
We share a lot. Yeah,
what do we can talk about that later, not on the podcast.
Podcast.
Do you want to hit us with that synopsis, bruh?
In 1971, Virginia high school football was everything to the people of Alexandria. But when the school board was forced to integrate an all-black school with an all-white school, the very foundation of football's tradition was put to the test. Give me one grape.
You want another grape?
Just one grape.
You guys, this episode is sponsored by Welch's Grapes and Billie Eilish fragrances because
Ew.
I bought a fragrance and they gave me this tin for free. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. I can bring my lunch to work in it. And then I realized
You're
I
like,
can't
oh, they
microwave
gave me a
this.
grape tin.
Actually, only thing I put in here is grapes. They're great grapes. Let me hit you guys with some fun facts about this movie. This was a poor decision on my part because I don't know how I can have the microphone and not block the iPad. So I'm just going to borrow this for a second, okay?
Whoa, dude. Take my iPad?
Fun fact here for you. I didn't know this movie was based on a true story. I didn't know these were real people. I thought it was just a heartwarming tale about racism. So, something I didn't know, Coach Herman Boone and Coach, what's his name?
Yoast.
Bill Yoast.
Yoast!
They were real people.
That's cool.
And they were like interviewed about the movie and they talked about how they liked the movie or didn't like the movie. They were still alive when the movie came out. According to Coach Herman Boone in an article published by ESPN, he really did integrate the buses before they left for football camp. Boone said, I forced them on each other. I forced them to learn each other's culture. I forced them to be a part of each other's lives. So there's a scene, a famous scene in the movie where they have two buses going to football camp. And just, I think, naturally, all of the black students get on one bus and all the white students get on the other bus. Coach Boone sees this and he's like, not on my watch. So he forces everyone to pair up. They have like an offensive bus and a defensive bus. So like the offensive line, the offensive part of the team, they had to pair up with somebody who was an opposite race of themselves, go on the bus, and
They
that
also
was
bunked with them.
Yeah, that was who you sat next to on the bus, and that was who you bunked with for the week of camp. So it was really, I didn't know that was based on a true story, and I didn't know that actually happened. I thought that was really interesting.
It's pretty cool.
I wanted to share that with the folks at home.
Pretty cool.
There is one scene in the film where a brick is thrown through Coach Boone's window, but in real life, it was an old toilet that was thrown through the window, but filmmakers thought that it would add humor to a very serious situation.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
they
that's
threw an
gnarly.
entire toilet through this man's window.
Yeah, that's intense. That's scary.
I don't think I could pick up a toilet, let alone huck it through a window.
I could pick up a toilet.
Okay, turn it down.
Okay. I could pick up
How heavy do you think a toilet is?
400 pounds. I could easily pick it up. I'm just kidding. I'd
How
say,
heavy is a standard toilet?
I would say it probably is 40 pounds.
He said, "Did you mean the bathroom?" Shut up. I'm going to Google it because
Pop
apparently
quiz.
serious. Pop quiz. How heavy is a toilet? A, 0 pounds. B,
Zero.
gabillion
I think
pounds.
that's 40 pounds.
Okay.
I'm thinking 40 pounds. That's what I'm thinking. That's my guess. It might be an awkward 40, but it's probably 40. What?
A one-piece toilet generally weighs about 88 pounds, whereas
80.
a two-piece toilet only consists of 55 pounds.
Oh, okay.
I don't really understand that.
I know.
She's not in the video.
I know.
Nana, come here.
Bernice.
Come here.
Anyways.
She doesn't want to.
So, go ahead. Keep
One more
going.
fun fact.
Uno más.
In real life, Coach Bill Yoast has 4 daughters. Bonnie, Angela, Cheryl, and... your mom's name?
Deirdre.
Deirdre. I don't want to mispronounce your name, so I'm just making you say it. Deirdre.
Deirdre.
Ooh, Carlos? Oh, he just laid next to me, but he like threw his ass into the
he's a
chair.
friend.
He's a friend of the pod.
He's a sponsor.
Bonnie, Angela, Cheryl, and Deirdre.
Deirdre.
Unlike in the film, all 4 daughters lived with their mother, Betty Yoast, after their parents divorced.
Betty.
Bonnie was in college, Angela went to a different high school, and Deirdre was only 3 years old in 1971. But Cheryl attended most of the games and other events with her father, so the filmmakers thought it would be distracting to depict the other 3 girls. While Bill Yoast was not happy about that, the sisters were fine with it and rather enjoyed the movie. So he like watched it and he's like, where the hell are the rest of my daughters? They weren't there.
They got
left.
cut out
They were cut off.
of life.
Oh, Nana.
Nana.
That would have been really interesting. Is that like well secured to the wall?
Should be.
Okay, we'll find out,
Find out.
after this break. Should we get ads, do you
There's
think?
2 screws in there, so
That
it's
should be
like 2 together.
Yeah, dude, that's fine. Something different we're going to do this season. Instead of the questions that we talk about, we're going to have some fun facts here. A little bit more of like an interactive
quiz.
portion. Yes, excuse me. Did I say fun facts? That's
Yeah,
stupid. I
we
just
already
read
did.
through the fun facts.
Yeah.
Pop quiz. We're going to do pop quizzes throughout. We're going to like read off the question and give like a multiple choice. A little more like interactive part of it that we thought would be really fun.
Yeah, and the person asking is the only person with the answer.
Yeah.
The
We
other
have not
person does
spoken
not- yeah.
about them at all. So
We haven't
I'm
spoken
excited.
for 2 weeks.
We haven't. Basically, feels like it. You didn't even call me this morning.
I did not.
So what you had part 2 and part 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I'll go over part 1 then. So part 1 of this movie, we open Disney. Ba, 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 ba. In 1971, Alexandria, Virginia, the newly desegregated T.C. Williams High School hires African-American coach Herman Boone to lead the football team. He's played by
Diesel.
yes. I wanted to say Daniel Craig, but I knew that was wrong.
Craig.
Denzel Washington plays Coach Herman Boone. He's an incredible actor. This is an incredible movie.
Unclaimed.
I don't know why we keep having to say that. Boone replaces Coach Bill Yoast, who has 15 winning seasons and was up for the Virginia High School Hall of Fame. Yoast initially refuses Boone's offer to be assistant coach, but joins to prevent the white players from boycotting and losing their scholarships. Basically, that's going to be really loud in the microphone, so maybe we don't play with that. It's just all metal, and you're going to hear it like crazy. And if you don't, I apologize.
Don't.
I don't. Yeah, like the movie starts off, obviously Bill Yoast is the head coach, but since they integrate the school, they hire Coach Boone, and like his whole family moves there. They go like all, across the country. I can't remember where he was coaching before, but he was coaching like AA.
Yeah, it's
Double A football, and moved to Virginia where it's AAA. So it's very, very important. It's like
It's very competitive.
yeah, community wide, everyone is really, really into it. So he's got big shoes to fill, and they end up like assigning him the head coach position. And then Boone was like, well, I really want you to be my assistant coach. I want you to take care of defense. I want you to still be on this team. These boys respect you. And Yoast was like, I'm not doing that. I'm not stepping aside. I'm not stepping down. I'm not letting you take my job that I've been successful at for 15 years. But then after he saw kind of like the unrest that would have occurred if he didn't work there, he was just like, you know what? He really put the team first. He put kind of his like, just his boys ahead of himself. And it was just like, all right, I will stick around and still be here for the team, which is great. Very big of him. Excuse me. So that's about part 1. Pop quiz for you, Chadwick.
All right, tell me.
So at one point in time in the movie, Gary and Julius are arguing, and Julius says the phrase, worth a plugged nickel.
You ain't worth a plug, nickel, and you know it. Nobody plays.
What does the phrase worth a plugged nickel mean? Is it A, worth more than expected due to higher weight, like a plug is in the nickel, so it's heavier? B, very rare due to being plugged with holes, as if by a bullet? Or C, having almost no value at all?
See.
C?
Yeah.
Is that your final answer?
Yeah.
That is correct.
Really?
A plugged nickel.
I thought it was the first one at first.
Yeah, I could not figure out why it was plugged nickel. Like, what is it plugged with? Like, is
I'm
it
not sure.
stuffy nose?
Maybe it's
it
like
have cold?
it's like missing pieces, so they plug it up with
like
stuff.
wood or something.
Yeah, wood. Something useless.
Like wood. So that was my pop quiz. Great job. It means nothing. So he said whatever it was, worth a plug nickel. I'm going to hand this beautiful piece of technology back over to you. We're going to go up a little bit.
Put my glasses back on.
You probably should, eh? Speaking
All
of,
right.
yes, fans, I did get new glasses. Thank you. They're a lot less obnoxious than my last pair. I do not like my last pair anymore. Hit me with part 2.
Part 2. Boone's and Yoast's teams, made up of white and African American players, clash racially at the football camp. So he takes them to this like football camp, and it's actually like right on the grounds of the Gettysburg battle,
which is so sick. It's like a
really
huge like
and
college.
he takes them there. So basically, what happens is it's like, they kind of have their ups and downs as teammates. And then over time, like he takes them through and goes to the Battle of Gettysburg, and he explains like how unfair it would be to be like that young and in a battle like that, and like how like basically they didn't let their race divide them because they were both fighting for the same thing.
Yeah,
it was a whole thing, and he's like talking about like people dying on the ground that they're on, and it's like a whole deep thing. Over time, that kind of like gets instilled in them, and then like Gary and Julius become best friends, and they like kind of bond, which helps their team, of course. Gary is the captain, so like him having a friend that is not white, I think, on the team helps the team's morale.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Kinda.
Learn by example, or lead by example. Rather.
Definitely.
And then basically toward the end of the middle part of the movie, Denzel Washington is told that if he loses any games, then they're going to basically turn it back over to the original coach, because they basically just want to see if he can do it, and if not, they're just going to turn it back to the, like in their opinion, the white reliable coach, which is like really ridiculous.
It's like surface level.
And
like, look, we're integrating, but not really at all.
Yeah, and you have to keep in mind, like his family like moved here.
Yeah,
it's not like
an entire.
It's not like he just like drove here from another school. Like they moved their whole like operation down. You know what I mean? So it's like a whole thing. So that's what happens then. But he's winning each game that his team is playing. They're undefeated.
Yeah.
So
they kind of figure it out.
But yeah. So Gettysburg is what brings them together, which brings me to
Pop quiz.
Pop
quiz. Let's hear it.
I'm about to get it right. Time. This is a fact. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you ready? It's brutal.
Let's
hear it. It's a brutal Gettysburg question.
Oh, Lordy.
Here we go, guys. During the Battle of Gettysburg, surgeons used what? Oh, my Kindle just...
Your off-brand iPad turned off.
Surgeons used what to hold their knives while suturing wounded young soldiers?
Okay.
Is it A, in a spare bedpan spare bedpans that they could scrounge together? B, their teeth. C, an assistant would hold their tools with contaminated hands. Or D, they would store them on the ground. So A is spare bedpans that they could just kind of scrounge together because they were low on equipment. B, they would put them in their teeth. C, an assistant would hold them with contaminated bloody hands. And D, they would store them literally on the ground.
I am between two.
Okay.
I'm between B and their teeth.
Okay.
Because that seems about right. I could see that. Or D, on the ground. Because I could also see them just working and they just throw their stuff on the ground and they're just like going to it. I'm going to say B, in their teeth.
You're right.
Boom, baby.
Yeah, they put their knives in their teeth while they're suturing people.
Oh my gosh. Did you do that too when you would suture people?
Yeah.
All the time.
All the time.
That's crazy. That's gross.
Yeah.
Dude, sometimes I was like, man, if I would be in the military, I think I would want to be like a military doctor. But wow.
Not back then, because they wouldn't be anesthetized.
Not back then.
Yeah,
no. You ever watch, I don't think you like this movie very much, but is that a salted nut roll? Have you ever had those before? It's very good.
Yeah, it looked good.
I used to eat those when I lived in Minnesota. I saw it while I was in Minnesota for the first time, and I said, what in the ever-living hell is a salted nut roll? So I got one, and they're delicious. They're like a payday, but like more Midwestern, I would say. Is it delicious delectableness? I love that. Do you want to read part 3, or do you want me to read part 3? We could do each other, but you have the last pop quiz. Okay, cool. Give me this.
Oh, dude.
Part 3. Here we go, baby. The Titans go undefeated, like we said. They are gaining community support despite the racial prejudice. Excuse me. I think, I mean, Alexandria, Virginia, that might just be me because I've like been to Alexandria, Virginia, but I feel like it's not too small of a town, but it's small enough where like football is so important that like everyone's kind of putting their prejudice aside because they're like, look, these boys can really play a game of football. They're really supporting the team and they're seeing how well that integration is working specifically for this school to an extent. I mean, there's still some racial divide in the school, like day to day, but on the team, like they are really, besides maybe one or two people. What's that one? Alan? No, not Alan. What's that shitbag? Ray. Fucking snake. Ray just really does not want to.
Some of those people can't let it go. They just can't let it
Yeah.
go.
Also, what's her name? Gary's ex-girlfriend.
I don't know. I'm gonna call her Claire.
Claire. Ooh, I don't like Claire. Claire isn't very friendly towards Julius, and I love Julius. So, the whole kind of the community is rallying behind this team of pretty successful integrated players. So they're just really kind of getting behind it, really enjoying it. Yoast is still in the running for the Hall of Fame, for like the high school football Hall of Fame. But like it's kind of like really shady and really still pretty racist because he like goes to a banquet for all of the Hall of Fame. I don't know where that's coming from.
Coming from Boston.
Hall of Fame nominees. And they kind of talk to him. They're like, listen, man, like just kind of like keep your nose down, get through this season. We'll like get you back to head coach soon. And he's like, listen, like I'm not like against this. Like Coach Boone is a really great coach. Like I'm not doing this. And they kind of like, all right, well, what's going on? They play their next game and Yoast ends up like yelling at the referees because the referees are fully like being racist towards TC high school.
They're also throwing the game.
Yeah, they're
So
like just
they're doing that on
completely
purpose, yeah.
calling everything unfair.
He has to lose the game in order to win the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
That's what's happening.
Yeah, they tell him like get Boone out of there, you'll get head coach back, and then like you'll be in the Hall of Fame basically. So he's not letting this happen, and he's like coming up with ideas to. They still win the game, they get around this, and like at the end of the game, the dudes from the Hall of Fame come up and they're like, you know, great game, coach. You just lost yourself the Hall of Fame, and like because he was just trying to like support his team and support his players and have the referees do their job.
Dirty game.
Yeah, like it was ridiculous. So he loses the Hall of Fame over it, but he, you know, in his heart.
It's like hard to think that someone would throw a high school football game.
Well, and that's the thing. like coming from Detroit, it's like we're like, what high school football? Yeah, it's cool. Like I went to football games because I was in the pep band. Big surprise. You went to football games because you played in the football.
I was on the team.
Football game.
I was definitely on the
Once?
team. I was on the team. Okay. I was like that on the court.
What position
on the
did
court.
you play?
I don't even know. I don't know.
You were the bench warmer.
I was the warmer of the bench.
You were there for moral support and witty banter.
Yeah, basically.
That's good. You were there for your looks.
Probably not at that time period.
You're pretty. You're a pretty hot teen.
I was a little awkward of a kid.
I just cannot see that
No,
with the amount of bravado.
Yeah, so like,
dude. You're ridiculous.
Crazy. I'm thirsties.
Yeah, you drank all your water. Do you want some more grapes?
No.
Maybe that'll help you quench your
Maybe I should
thirst.
get more water.
I mean, we're almost done.
Yeah, you're
Or do you
right.
want to go get water right now?
No, I won't.
Okay.
I guess.
That's my Tootsies. Socks.
Soccer.
Soccer. We're talking about football.
Okay.
Yoast loses the Hall of Fame because he's not racist. They start, basically the game where he loses the Hall of Fame, it's the semifinals. So they're about to be winning the championships. They won the semifinals. So they're going to be in the finals. They're going to be in the championship. So the whole team's celebrating. They're all super pumped. They all get back to school on the buses and they're talking and stuff. And Gary Bertier gets in his car and he's like, I just, I want to go out on the town, let's
He's
light
all
this
hyped
place up. He's jazzed.
He's got a lot of testosterone.
He wants to hang out with his best pal Julius, and Julius is like,
Julius.
I got to be with my girl.
He's trying to
mac on the ladies.
He's trying
dude.
to mac. A
Yeah.
little bit. Yeah.
So Gary goes out all by his lonesome, and in a fit of
Stupor.
drunken rage, he ends up getting into a car
Gets
accident.
T-boned.
He gets T-boned by a huge truck. He goes to the hospital. The whole team is there. Julius starts crying, which made me cry hard
Don't
when we
say
watched
that
this
to
movie.
me.
Don't say that to me, man. Oh, it's so cute.
It's sad.
He goes in, visits Gary, and it turns out Gary is paralyzed from like the
Paralyzed.
chest down, basically. So
Paralyzed.
he is not playing any football anytime soon.
Well, he can't feel his legs.
He can't feel his leg.
He needs some milk.
He needs some milk.
He does need milk.
So he gets paralyzed. Unfortunately, he's not able to play in the championships, but through some wicked hot sportsmanship, they go to the championships. Lo and behold, they win the championships due to
They don't even need Gary.
They don't need Gary. He
don't
was
even
just
need him.
worthless there. Yeah. No, he did great. Gary watches the championships from his hospital room on his television.
Couldn't even stand up for the national anthem.
national anthem. He hated
Would it kill you
America,
to stand up for the national anthem?
It might have killed him. It might have killed him. Gary's mom goes to the game. They all clap for her. That made me cry too. That was really
nice.
cute. But yeah, they end up winning the game. It's a beautiful, beautiful situation, and it's just really, really nice. They win the championship. The movie ends.
Gary died.
Okay.
Gary died.
And Gary died. The movie ends 10 years later. They're all kind of getting together for Gary's funeral. He passes away 10 years after the movie, after like the event. So he dies probably around 28 years old.
Yeah.
R.I.P. in power. But they all get together.
He did some pills and drove his car into an embankment.
Stop. He's paralyzed. He can't drive a car.
He can drive with his hands. He's got those little toggles on his.
You think they had that in 71?
I hope so.
They didn't.
For Gary. They
For
might.
Gary. He's French. He's French. I love how ChatGPT wrote this out. It says 10 years later, the team reunites for Bertier's funeral, reflecting on their lessons of racial equality.
Oh, dude.
They're like, what did we learn about racial equality? Can you stop playing footsie tag with me, dude?
Who's your favorite character of this movie, you think?
Julius Campbell.
Julius Campbell?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, okay.
I really like him because he's basically the team. I hope you can't see those in the camera. That's gross.
Thanks, dude.
He's basically like the team captain from the black school that was integrated with the white school. And he's like, he is a great, team leader. He ends up being a great leader with Gary. And he's just no nonsense. He doesn't take crap. And he's just like really a strong character, a strong role model. And he is in a really, really tough position. And he goes to Gary's house about halfway through the movie. He wants to go to Gary's house. They're going to play basketball or something. They're just meeting up. And he gets dropped off the bus in Gary's neighborhood. And he's just standing there. People are walking past. He nods to them, says good morning. And they just stare at him and walk past. A cop pulls up out of nowhere. And basically Julius is like, all right, well, I'm going to get kicked out of this neighborhood now. The cop pulls up and he's like, hey, you played a hell of a game. You're doing a great job. Do you think you guys can go all the way? And he's like, oh, yes, sir, of course. Cop drives off. So again, it shows just how much football, means to the community and everybody. And he meets Gary's mom. And he goes into the house and Gary's mom holds out her hand to shake his hand. And he just grabs her in a big bear hug and lifts her up and hugs her. And it's just
yeah,
I really, really, really like his character. How about you? Who's your favorite character?
Oh, gosh. Probably Louis Lastic.
Really?
I would say so. The only reason I say that is because he's the one that is initially completely doesn't even care about what's going on.
There is not a racist bone in his big body.
Yeah, he's just trying to play. He's just trying to have fun and make friends.
Make friends.
He was ahead of his time.
He
you know
really
what I mean?
was.
He was totally good. And
it is funny because he literally all of the black players are together at the high school. And he just runs in. He's like, I heard there's a football team. Here I am. Let's do it.
yeah,
He does not care at all.
Cafeteria right away.
It's incredible.
Yeah, I think he is the icebreaker.
For sure.
So he initially shows it's like not a big deal at all. It's like not a big deal.
And that's the funny thing too, because he's at like football camp, he's rooming with Rev, and he immediately, like, Coach Boone asks him questions, and he like names off fun facts about Rev.
He knows what underwear he's wearing.
He knows what underwear he's wearing. They have like a lot of good serious conversations. Like, you know, he's just honestly, there really aren't any like bad characters. Everyone is acted well, portrayed correctly. I thought it was a really, really good movie.
Me too.
You have one more pop quiz.
I have a pop quiz that has related to what we're talking about.
Pop off says?
Last question is, which character in this movie also had a major role in the hit show The Wire? Is it A, Louis Lastik?
I know this one.
Is it A, Gary Bertier, or B, Gary Bertier, C, Julius, or D, Coach Boone?
I actually might not know this. I think it's between Gary and Julius. What if it's not? Oh my gosh. I'm going to say Gary Bertier, B.
Gary is not.
It's Julius.
But Gary Bertier is in.
He's in Sons of Anarchy. That's it. Because I remember I saw the actor who plays Julius in something else, and I had no idea it was Julius.
He's also a rapist in SVU.
Oh, Julius or Gary?
Gary.
That makes more sense.
Yeah. He's a creep.
Dang, that sucks.
Yeah.
I would have a hard... How would you feel... So, I always think about this specifically with the character who plays Louis Lastik. So you watch a movie like this, which... Funny enough, this is going to throw back to our last season where we went over American History X. So in this movie, Louis Lastik plays like a character who like has not been affected by racism at all. He is not racist. His family's not racist. He's from like a military family, so he moves around a lot. And he just like does not feel any type of way towards anybody, like negatively or anything like that. He's just there for fun time. He just loves everybody who's going to play football with him. And then you look at his character in American History X, where he's this disgusting racist. He is like, he says some of the most vile things that I wouldn't even be able to repeat if I wanted to. He's just like a horrible, horrible person. And I would say in almost every movie he's in, he plays kind of a dirtbag.
Yeah.
He always plays like a bully. He plays just like a really horrible person. And obviously, I don't think it's typecasting. From what I've heard, he is an incredible person. And he has recently made huge health gains. Like, he is really kind of turned his whole life around. And he's really fit. He's in, shape. It's really, really good.
Egyptian.
I think we might have talked about this in that movie when we did American History X. But, like, how would you feel about, like, acting in a role like that? Like... I mean, if we look at it from from Remember the Titans, like Yoast's assistant coach is like racist as hell, and like he's super rude. He's like very derogatory. Gary Bertier at the beginning, obviously, by the end of it, he really kind of turns it around. But like, would you be able to do that? Would you be like taking on these roles and just like knowing that like a lot of people are going to see you like this and might just like make judgments about yourself and your character compared to just the character's character?
Yeah, I do. I think I could do that.
Yeah.
I think I could do that, and I think that it's important that people do it. I think that like those specific roles usually have the most important messages to relay.
Yeah.
You have to do that because if not, you wouldn't relay out the message. And they're like, I think it's like one thing for you to, it's like anything. It's like one thing to like read about something. It's another to see it in real life or like in real time.
Yeah.
It's such a much heavier hitting message.
For sure.
You know what I mean? So I think those people that can do that and do it well and convince people, I think it's kind of like important to do.
Yeah.
Because like I said, it's like really relaying that message, especially to younger people. It's easier to see it and be like, ooh, that's not good.
For
you know
sure.
What I'm saying? Like, so.
Yeah, I do think we did talk about this in American History X because I remember watching American History X and I was like, that is not cool. That is not really not okay.
It's a really good message. I mean, really, that movie, because it shows you like exactly what would happen basically if 100%. You did that and like the trajectory of that decision.
Well, this is like back in the day when Disney was like really doing like heavy hitting movies. Like they had this movie. They also had the movie The Color of Friendship, which is crazy. Color of Friendship it is this black family in LA, I think, and they have an exchange student come to live with them from South Africa. So the daughter is like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna like have like an African sister here, like I'm gonna be so close to her. And when she gets to America, it's a white girl from like a politician's household, and like at that time in South Africa, there was a lot of like racism and, negative stereotypes towards black people. So she comes over and she like hides in her room and she doesn't want to talk to the family that she's living with. And it's like really intense. They like say the N-word in this movie. Like it's crazy. Children saying the N-word is like so uncomfortable.
That's
but they're really like, they're talking about, I can't remember how it's pronounced, but the apartheid, like it's, listen, one, haven't seen the movie in forever. Two, know nothing of this time in history, so please don't yell at me. But it just really dealt with like really heavy hitting, like,
yeah, that sounds
like
really intense.
Dude, it's wild and it's well acted. It's a great movie. It's just like they're really dealing with some heavy stuff, and now they're just trying to ruin Star Wars.
Now we got Paw Patrol on.
We don't have Paw Patrol.
Paw Patrol.
We have Bluey. You hit the chair harder than you hit me. Chadwick, I think we're only like 36 minutes into this.
Yeah, this is an easy one to get through.
It was a quick one. We wanted to start off a little gentle because we're getting in. We have some heavier hitting movies.
We do.
Do we want to go over everything, or should we just leave it as
just one? The next one.
Just the next one? Let's see what we're doing next. I think we take a very sharp turn into the next ones here. Let me pull it up. Season 4. Oh, yeah. The next episode coming out on September 23rd, a month after Chadwick's birthday, is the movie I Saw the Devil.
It's a great movie. Korean movie.
Korean.
It's probably on something. It typically is streaming on things.
I could look up really quick and see.
If anyone wants to peep that one, it's very intense. It's really good. It's a true thriller drama.
You said it was Korean?
Yeah.
Right now, it's on Hulu, Roku channel, and then the Magnolia Selects Prime Video channels, the Monsters and Nightmares Prime Video channels, and Warriors and Gangsters Prime Video channels. But
yeah.
Hulu and Roku.
It's a great movie.
I'm really excited to watch it.
Really
It's a movie that I've wanted to see for a long time. When we were planning this season, we had like a lot of movies. Why don't we tell them a little bit about how we planned this season? Chase is someone, we've definitely talked about this before, but Chase has a very extensive physical collection of DVDs and Blu-rays, to the point where he had them in an entertainment table, like entertainment stand, like underneath his TV, and he had them in an entire closet, like floor to ceiling, full of movies.
And
then
800 of them
easily. Yeah. So with him moving, we made the executive decision to take all of his movies out of the cases and put them in those giant 90s like CD books.
Yeah.
So you have 2 of them chock full. So we ended up just sitting down, going through all the movies, and we picked out all of them for this next season through that, I think.
Yeah. I think for the most part, yeah.
Yeah. So obviously, if it's streaming, we'll let you know. But if it's not streaming, you guys can come over. We'll have a movie night. It'll be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, we sat down and chose through all those, and kind of a little bit overview. I'm not gonna like say what we're doing for everyone, but we're doing two episodes in September. It'll be the normal like every 2 weeks. During Halloween, we still wanted to do during October, we liked the 1 episode every week of doing like more horror movies and stuff. We already have them picked out. And then we're going to do 2 episodes in November, 1 at the beginning, 1 in the middle of November. And then December, we're going to do 3 episodes again. December, we are going to have like a specific like Christmas episode, which I'm really excited about. And we're ending with a heavy hitter movie. It's a really great movie. I'm very excited for what we're ending with.
I don't remember what it is.
Good, because you would give it away.
Give it away now.
But yeah, next 2 weeks, September 23rd, I Saw the Devil. Watch it so we don't ruin it. We're going to talk about it a lot. And we're going to keep going with the pop quizzes. I like the pop quizzes. It's fun. It makes it a little more like
it is
exciting for us.
A little pizzazz.
Little what?
I'm gonna go a little more clever with mine.
I know. Now that we're doing this, I'm gonna I like how you did it with Gettysburg, like kind of surrounding it more, like the history of the movie. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I'm really excited about this season. I hope y'all are too. Any last mentions for the podcast?
No, everything's good. I'm excited. Hopefully everything will be moved in here and ready to go, and we'll have a cool space in a little bit here. And
we have a nice setup.
Neville and I are working diligently.
You really are. It's a lot going on right now. Y'all have been kicking booty
around the
recently.
clock.
All right. Well, I think that's it. Thank y'all so much. If you do have any movies that you want us to be watching, DMs on Instagram are always open. YouTube comments we always look at. Can't really comment on Spotify or Apple, but just shoot us a text if you have our number. If you don't, the dish with Chase and Ben at gmail.com.
Yeah.
Shoot us an email. Write us a letter. Send it to 3278 Rochester Road.
There you go.
Attention, Chase and Ben.
Chad and Chris.
No, that's both you.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Chris and Glenn.
And
with that, I really gotta pee. So, good evening, good morning, good night.
Good night.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.